Good afternoon. Welcome to another 8-push video with Mr. Pate for Barlow High School. We're in review mode, and today we're looking at a common essay topic, comparison of different colonial regions. Here we go. We're going to look at 4 regions today: New England, Virginia or Southern colonies or the Chesapeake region, Spanish Southwest, and New France. All of these frequently appear, especially New England and the Chesapeake or Virginia Southern colonies, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and just dig into these. New England, you have towns, small farms, merchants, and shipping. You have a diversified economy. You have soil, because the climate is cold compared to the south at least. You have rocky soil, but you have great fishing. You have shipping. You have merchants. You have cities develop. You have people come, and they're coming to set up a society. They're looking for religious freedom. Christian faith is the main reason they come. It's the chief center of their existence. You have people coming in families, coming in large groups with the idea of creating a settlement. They are invested. They want to stay there permanently. We'll talk about this with the Puritans later. They want that city on a hill experience. They want to have this Christian society that'll be a model for all of the world. So they're coming and they diversify their economy: fishing, shipping, merchants, city development, all of these things. They are going to have some conflict with Native Americans. The Pequot War, King Philip's War, and disease transference are going to be some common features that you see there. Now, to compare that to Virginia, Southern, or if we want to just say Chesapeake region, it's rural. You have large-scale agriculture. They're going to have cash crops they're growing. When you think about the economy, tobacco and rice. Tobacco saves the Jamestown colony initially under John Rolfe, and tobacco and rice are going to be kind of key features. I know when you think of the South, you think cotton. It's not cotton time yet, okay? It's mainly tobacco and rice. The climate and soil are very favorable for growing these. You have early indentured servitude in large numbers here, smaller numbers in New England. Eventually that's going to turn into African slavery that'll be featured here. This will be the prominent area of African slavery to occur after, in the second half of the 1600s and beyond. The Anglican Church and royal colonies. There's much more direct government control here in the southern colonies. The British government kind of has their thumb on things more. Over here, when you think about politically, you have New England town meetings going on and colonial assemblies. You do get a little bit of that with the Virginia House of Burgesses and the headright system. There are some efforts to kind of economically and politically, the colonists are putting their stamp on things a little bit, but largely much more kind of direct government control from England in the southern colonies, especially Virginia. Spanish Southwest. Socially, that's the S's, or settlement, excuse me. Settlement was in, it's a pretty deserty area. And so you have not great soil, so farming's not going to be a key feature. Initially, you really have military forts to protect their territory, and you have Catholic religious missions that they set up to kind of minister to or reach out to the local population of Native Americans. You do see some transmission of some people coming from Mexico that are moving up as the Spanish move up there. Ranching becomes the strongest thing economically. That's my E here. And horses and cattle are introduced, and then ranching takes in. And they had grasslands that were good for that. They just didn't have really land that was going to be conducive to a lot of farming. The Pueblo Revolt is going to be the notable interaction with Native Americans here, and diseases are going to really hurt the Indians. The stuff that's just brought and transferred. And then the Catholic Church and the government have total control here. There's not a massive amount of economic stuff going on. It's pretty remote, but that's Spanish Southwest settlements. New France, you're talking about the Ohio River Valley and Canada, large parts of Canada, mostly settled by men, so similarity there to Virginia, mostly settled by men. Early on it's run by the Catholic Church, and later on it's going to be controlled by the monarchy. So in terms of settlement, you see a religious impact. Both the French and the Spanish were staunch Catholics. You have Protestant Anglicanism in England. In Great Britain, no farming. The climate was terrible for that, so farming's not a big producer. Fur trading was huge, though. Fur trading is going to be what kind of gets them going. They have a very slow start settlement-wise. They struggle to get out of the gate. And then, the Catholic influence was strong for a while. You couldn't go there unless you were a professing Catholic. So that was a very important foundational thing. Now, if we look at some comparison contrast really quickly here, you have cities developed in New England. You have rural, large-scale agriculture in Virginia. You have fur traders and very small settlements for quite a while, very slow start for New France. And you have missions, religious missions, and military outposts for the Spanish. So very diverse there. Religion was a factor in all areas, although it's somewhat different. You have people setting up a religious society here that are basically persecuted people looking for a different opportunity. You have the Anglican Church and kind of more governmental control issuing their church. And then both of these cases, New France and in the Spanish Southwest, you have also kind of Catholic and government going in hand in hand, kind of dovetailed together. Economy, a diversified economy that's not as much agriculture based. There's only small farms in New England, not any farms really. Ranching in Spanish Southwest, fur trading in New France, and these are things that are going to be climate influenced. The only area that has that's just totally agricultural based is going to be in the Chesapeake region. And transportation in cities, obviously you're going to see those grow up more with the diversified economy and the approach people brought to building cities in New England. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is kind of bonus round are the Puritans. Puritans are the kind of community or societal group to know out of any of these different areas that we're looking at. They are the one. The Puritans, they had this idea of the city on the hill. I kind of mentioned that already. They wanted to establish basically a society that would be a shining example to the rest of the world of Christians living in harmony in an all-Christian society. They really believed in a work ethic, that everyone needed to work hard. They also believed everyone needed to be able to read the Bible, they need to be literate, they need to be educated. So they're going to be huge on public education, having compulsory schools for everyone. Every community had churches and schools kind of at the center of it. And Harvard is going to become, it's founded by them. It's going to be the first American college. So they also have, they wanted religious freedom. These other groups, you're having kind of government official religion. But New England, especially with the Puritans in Massachusetts, you're having in Connecticut, you're having, they come for religious freedom, but they're not going to grant as much religious freedom themselves because they want everyone to be in harmony in the same church. Some people are going to disagree with them and leave or be asked to leave, like Roger Williams and Anna Hutchinson. Roger Williams, of course, founds Rhode Island, and Hutchinson's going to go to another colony, and they're both advocating for just total freedom of religion, which you will see with like William Penn and Lord Baltimore in some of the middle colonies. You see that also Pennsylvania and Maryland are both going to have religious freedom that they legally established early. And they have New England town meetings. They're going to really believe that everyone should be able to have a say in advocating the government. But that's all the time we have for today, looking at 4 different kind of colonial models and how they develop. Stay classy, Samurai.